This video was digitized from a reel of silent Super 8mm film, and it's of the 1969 Golden Spike Centennial Limited train. And this train was especially put together just to mark the 100-year anniversary of when the Atlantic and the Pacific lines of the railroad going across the United States joined together in 1869. And I'll just read you a little bit here from the web page that talks about this. It says, quote, "The last rail is laid, the last spike driven, the Pacific Railroad is complete," end quote. With these words, the gap between the East and West was closed forever. A ribbon of rail now stretched from Atlantic to Pacific, and nothing would ever be the same. And in May 1969, the High Iron Company's 14-car Golden Spike Centennial Limited took passengers on a 2-week adventure from the heart of Manhattan, New York, to the rolling hills of Utah to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the driving of the Golden Spike at Promontory Summit. And here you can see the train moving along with a nice coat of light blue paint. And in the spring of 1968, Ross Rowland Jr., a successful Wall Street commodities broker and rail fan, approached the Association of American Railroads to see what the railroad industry had planned for the next year's 100th anniversary of the linking of the continent by rail. And the answer was not much. And so the National Park Service, on the other hand, planned a grand ceremony on May 10th at the newly created Golden Spike National Historic Site. But outside of Utah, there were no real plans for drawing attention to this monumental event. Rowland and his High Iron Company crew were already on course to spend thousands of man-hours restoring a mainline steam locomotive, NKP 759, to operational condition. What better way to celebrate the centennial of the Golden Spike than with a cross-country excursion train pulled by 759, which you see here, steaming right along. And Ross and his crew got busy and submitted a plan to the Association of American Railroads to organize and build a special steam-powered display excursion train to operate round-trip from New York City to Salt Lake City. And it would be called the Golden Spike Centennial Limited. The train would consist of 3 display cars to be opened for public viewing at 13 different stops. Inside these 3 converted baggage cars would be displays highlighting the past, present, and future of railroading in America. And here's just a great shot of someone this person driving along, filming it, just steaming away. And yeah, whoever filmed this, I don't know, I don't have a name. They did an excellent job. And behind the display cars would be several coach passenger cars for carrying all the fare-paying passengers, including 2 diners to keep them all fed and happy. And the Association of American Railroads gave its endorsement to the plan, and things shifted into high gear. By spring of 1969, the train was ready to go. As you can see here, the train itself was quite a sight. The entire train had been decorated in a special Association of American Railroads paint scheme, this nice light blue. The light blue with gold trim and accents just really made it pop, as you can see here. Across the side of the tender was proclaimed American Railroads. The special paint scheme was also given to the Penn Central CG1 electric locomotive that would pull the train on its final leg back into New York City. And 100 passengers paid $995 for a round-trip ticket on the blue train, as it came to be called. Dozens of other passengers paid lesser amounts for shorter segments. And like I said, just some great footage here of this. You'll see it loading up with coal here in a minute. But yeah, this film was a little jumpy. It had some bad spots in it. The film was kind of warped. It was getting old, but I did the best I could cropping those out and trying to save as much as this historic footage. And you don't see that too often, so, or not nowadays anyways, someone jumping on the back of a locomotive. And I think this was filmed in, if you know what state trooper that was, please leave a comment. I think this is in Ohio. This came from a collection of train films from someone in Ohio. So, but I'd love to hear your comments where you think it's at. And just some more information on the locomotive that you're looking at here, and you're going to see a lot more of here in a minute. You'll get a nice close-up of her. It's NKP 759, and she's a Class S2 284 Berkshire type steam locomotive built in 1944 by Lima Locomotive Works in Lima, Ohio, as a member of the S2 class for the New York, Chicago, and St. Louis Railroad, commonly referred to as the Nickel Plate Road. And she was built as a fast freight locomotive, serving the Nickel Plate until being retired in 1959 and placed in storage. And then in 1965, 759 was purchased by F. Nelson Blount for display in his Steamtown, USA collection in North Walpole, New Hampshire. And then the locomotive was restored to operating condition in 1967, as I mentioned, by Ross Rowland for use in hauling the Golden Spike Centennial Limited, which you've been watching in this film. And I'd really love to hear your comments on this. This excursion was made in 1969, so not that long ago, and I'm sure there's a lot of viewers out there that were actually at this event or actually witnessed it, either going out to Utah or coming back. And yeah, I would really like to hear what you saw and what you thought about it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more military and patriotic videos that I try to upload here on my site every other day. I'm also a rail fan, and I have the Amtrak Sunset Limited and Union Pacific line right in front of my house. And anything interesting that comes rolling by, I post here on my site. So check it out under the playlist trains.